The Portillo settlement, outstanding personnel issues, government agency requests for employee records, and more. Greetings, everyone. This is the Gardening Snail of Livingston, California, just trying to keep the community informed and local government as honest as possible. This video is part 2 of a 4-part series in which we will look at a little recent Livingston history through the lens of the April 2023 invoice from the city's attorney. So let's start out with the total for professional services rendered for human resources through April 30th, 2023. Notice that this statement was created on June 2nd, 2023. The total amount billed for human resource services for the month of April was $10,380. However, when we start looking at the detail, we see that the April invoice also includes charges going back to the 1st of January 2023. These charges having to do with employee risk management coverage, employee settlement terms, and beginning the draft of the settlement agreement with Vanessa Portillo. On the next page of detail, we see a few redactions and several entries related to employee risk management and personnel issues. The next page has even more redactions. For what we can see, these charges come from activity in January and February 2023. More charges from February and also charges from March, mostly about personnel issues. And a whole bunch of redactions, likely covering the time frame from late March through mid-April. The last set of details mentions multiple requests for employee records by a government agency. This may be a bit of a stretch, but from what I can recall around that time frame, the Commission on Police Officer Standards and Training was going through the process of decertification of certain officers. In other words, suspending or revoking certain officers' certification. So my best guess is that commission was asking for records from the police department. Most of the hours that ended up on this April bill were by Deborah Henshaw Vieira. Second place went to Jeressa Ewell. Now that we've taken a brief walk through the detail of the charges for human resources, let's look at the special meeting items for January, February, March, and April. And we'll be looking for items that would most likely be classified as human resources related. In January, we had 4 closed session meetings that included discussion of existing litigation, potential litigation, along with labor negotiations and the appointment of an interim city manager. In February, existing litigation was on the agenda at least twice, along with potential litigation again, and appointment of an interim city manager. In March, there was anticipated litigation, 2 cases of existing litigation, labor negotiations, along with a threat to public services or facilities, and the appointment of a city attorney. In April, under closed session, potential litigation again, anticipated litigation again, and existing litigation. Now that we've looked over the closed session items, some of which the charges have finally hit us in April, let's sort through the ones we are allowed to see what's on the bill. On this slide here, I have a total of outstanding personnel issues of $860 from the month of January. One of the things that caught my attention were the multiple references to panel counsel and coverage counsel, which leads me to believe that these are employee risk management items having either to do with the ongoing litigation or arbitration matters. Some more personnel matters adding up to $380 from the months of February and March. Now, the only settlement agreement that I remember being reported out of a closed session was the one for Vanessa Portillo. In the previous video about general legal, we saw a line item about that report out of closed session. I could be wrong, but my best guess is that these charges are associated with that settlement. More back charges from January relating to revising a city manager employment agreement, a revised city manager ordinance that I don't think has gone to council yet, an employee resignation notice, and Employee Risk Management Association coverage. More charges from mainly January, February, and March relating to personnel matters, personnel rules, and the police chief contract back in January. Now we get into April and that government agency request for employee records that two attorneys have to confer with each other about it, and we get billed by both of them. Then we have an item where the human resources attorney confers with the city attorney about Livingston's updated salary schedule. I can't help but wonder how much back and forth of conferring and conferring again is hidden under all of the redactions. If you like what I do here, please follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And remember, editorial content is my own as a long-term resident of Livingston and does not represent the views and opinions of the City Council or the City of Livingston itself, and does not hold itself out to be any kind of legal advice.